My name is Jen and I'm with the Volusia County Public Library Hope Place branch. And thank you for joining us for part 2 of our series on winter hanger decorations. Today we will be making this winter tree. Also we'll be making a bell and a reindeer. So you'll need a few items for this decorations. You'll need hangers. Now you could use a wire hanger. We're going to go with the plastic hangers because I really wanted to pop on screen for everyone. But if you get the hangers, just be mindful of the corners. Some are a little bit more rounded and don't have any extra plastic, where these have a little extra plastic on the ends, and you're going to have to drill a hole in the center of these to make it so you could put your zip ties through and connect your creation together. If you have child hangers hanging around, you can use those as well. Now, the other items you'll need are zip ties and a pair of scissors. Now let's get started. For our first winter creation, we're going to start with the tree. This is going to take 17 of our plastic hangers, and we're using the ones that we've drilled out. So let's get started. We're just going to start with one at our top. And then what you want to do is we're just going to build our layers. So what I'm going to do to save on zip ties is I'm going to make sure that my hook meets up with just over the last hole that I've drilled out. So I'm going to put them like that. And then you want to have these two holes that you've drilled come together, and also your hook on top of the last one. And we're just going to keep on building layers. And then also, we want our base of our tree. So there's two ways that you can do this. You can go ahead and you can make it so we have a zip tie, and you can make it just straight if you prefer, or you can bring them in together and give it a nice triangular look. And that is our tree. So when we are zip tying our tree, this is going to be very bottom heavy, so we want to make sure to zip tie it very well. You're going to make sure to run your zip ties through all of these points where you have your hook, and underneath where that hole is that you've drilled. Make sure that when you zip tie it down, you don't lock it all the way down. We don't want it all the way tight until you get all the zip ties in place, and then you can come back and tighten them all at once. So we're going to make sure to do that and leave it still just a little more wiggle room. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue down the tree. So like with this one right here where we have 3 points that come together, we're going to make sure to get through the 2 holes that we've drilled and include our hanger. And this will save zip ties as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do all of the rest of these. And then what you do is you come in and we will start to tighten them, and I'll show you how that's done. As you can see, I've gone over the entire tree at all of the points where we should be zip tying. We want to make sure to zip tie all the hooks to the drilled hole areas. Also, as you work your way down the tree, we have those points where we're trying to save on zip ties but also make it nice and stable. We have 2 drilled areas together with the same hook, so we're going to have that. So put all of them on loosely and just make sure you've got everything. Then you're going to go through and sporadically. So you'll start tightening this, tighten it all the way down, and then move over to here, tighten over here, tighten over here. Then just keep moving at different points of the tree and then it won't get all clumped up and pulled together in weird ways. Okay, so now I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut off all the tops of the zip ties. So this is our completed hanger tree. It's ready for decoration. You can add lights, you can add anything you'd like to it, you can paint it for whatever your winter decorations are. Now let's move on to our next project. For our next creation, we'll make a seasonal winter bell. It will take 14 hangers. So we're just going to start with, we're going to point our hanger down. Okay. Now we want to make sure that these little drill holes that we made in our hangers lay on top of each other, because that's where we're going to put our zip ties for that stability. So we've got one that's straight. And then we're going to do another one straight. Okay. Now we want to have a flare. So we're going to go ahead and point that one out. Now the bottom's a little tricky because we might need to manipulate it just a little bit. There we go. So now we have our bells so far. We just have to add our nice, beautiful top. So we're just going to add a nice little top to this. We're going to start with our hanger straight. Then we're just going to crisscross and do another little cross. And then we're going to set this top of here, and just make sure again that those areas line up for the zip ties. And we're going to do the same thing, one to the side, one on the bottom, and we're just making a nice little triangle for the top of our bell. There you go. So now we want to make sure when you're doing your zip ties, you want to make sure you're going to put zip ties here. You're going to put zip ties through all of these holes to connect these hangers together. Everywhere that there's a point where there is, right here where the zip ties come together, or sorry, the hangers come together. Anywhere where there is a point that can build stability is where we want our zip ties. On your bows, because that's where a lot of your weight is going to be, towards the top here. You can put a couple of zip ties going across this way and across this way in a zigzag. We're going to want to put a couple over here where you're going to zip tie this hooks together and hooks together. So you want to make sure to do zip ties around the entire piece. Don't secure them tightly all the way down. Then once you're okay with how it's sitting, you pick one point and you'll start to pull them very tight. And then you'll go to another point off to the side. Pull that one tight. Just work your way around the piece and don't go here, here, and just keep moving in the same sequence. You want to be moving all around the piece, and that will help keep your bell looking like a bell. So that is our bell. Now we're going to start making our 13 hanger reindeer. And if you want to, you can turn them into Rudolph. Let's get started. We're going to overlap these top hangers just a little bit. And at first our reindeer is going to look a little stocky, but we're going to go ahead and move them around a little bit, make them more look streamlined. So for our legs, we're going to take our hangers and do like we've been doing with all the others and hook them into the shape. We're going to put them right down here, like he's getting ready to take off. Going to do that. And this will be his second leg. I'm going to line that directly up. Okay. So then we have one for his body. Then we have, one for his neck. So, like I said, we're just going to need to do a little bit of moving. Get everything to line up right. There we go. Leave him a little tail. Okay, so this is his neck. And then we're going to do like we did before. Together, this is his head. We're going to put it right there on top. I'll have it tilting just a little bit. We want it somewhere where we can go ahead and lock it down really well with the zip ties. So we'll put it right over that circle. So, see a little stocky? Let's do a little bit of tweaking. So we can just kind of bring him down a little bit. Want to make sure to definitely keep that tail. Okay. And you can see all the points where you'll put your zip ties, okay? So we actually have a really good set of points here, everywhere where they meet, and there's a lot of them. So this is going to be a very sturdy. Okay, so now we have our finishing touches. Let's actually start with the antlers. So what we did for the antlers, if you would like them, obviously since this is a one side, we took some of the hooks off of the top of the hangers, and we're just gonna put them in just like that. Okay, and then our finishing touch, because what is this time of year without Rudolph? There you go. There is your Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I just want to thank you for joining me during my part 2 of our winter hanger decoration series. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Also, we have an Instagram and our YouTube channel where Volusia's Getting Crafty. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure to go on back and check that out, where we did some snowflakes and some stars. And also don't forget to subscribe while you're there so you get our alerts when we upload a new video. I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.